Boxing King Media in association with Boxro. Spencer Oliver, a huge night for Sky Sports, a big announcement today. Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. I've just noticed Clarissa's obviously on the A side, but obviously she's fighting in the UK. What's your initial thoughts on such a big fight?
Massive fight. You know, this is a fight that has been in the making for a long time now. These two girls have got a history. Back in 2012, Savannah Marshall actually remains the only girl ever to beat Clarissa Shields, amateur or pro. Clarissa's always wanted that revenge, and she gets her opportunity. It's a huge fight. It's actually the biggest fight in women's boxing history, this. And I think that they'll do it again. I think that this is not going to be just one fight. I think this is a fight that could turn into a trilogy. Both girls have got their strengths and their weaknesses, but stylistically they gel together beautifully. You know, so Clarissa Shields is the technician. Her punch selection's unbelievable. You know, her distance is great. And Savannah Marshall, as we all know, is knocking everyone out. Both guys are 12-0. 13's an unlucky number for someone, and that's what we're going to get when these two box.
They probably should have named it unlucky number 13. One thing I want to pick up there, you said the biggest fight in women's boxing history. That sounds like a very similar quote to what Eddie Hearn said a few months ago. So you tell me, why is this bigger than Taylor Serrano?
I just think because of their history. I think because of the history of the two. You know, Taylor Serrano was obviously a massive fight, but these two have history, like I say, going back to the amateurs, and it's a fight that's been brewing in recent times. You know, down in Cardiff, when they was down in Cardiff and Clarissa come over, Clarissa boxed in Cardiff, and they both kicked off down there, up in Newcastle, but they generally dislike each other. You know, Taylor and Serrano, they didn't dislike each other. They were two of, pound for pound, the best, going at it head to head. But the build-up is what makes this fight massive. Like these two girls, there will be fireworks here today. These two girls are going to go off on one, you know, because they generally dislike each other. Taylor Serrano didn't dislike each other, but as far as boxing goes, that was an incredible fight. Taylor Serrano will go down as Madison Square Garden as one of the best fights that's happened at Madison Square Garden. That was great, but I think we get the same with these two. I think this goes down to the wire. I'm not quite sure who's going to win this fight yet. I think it goes down to the wire. I think it could be like, you know, a split decision either way. I think we could see it again. I just think that, that their styles will gel perfectly, and because of the dislike between the two, you know, they're going to go at it.
You know, one of the biggest things about that fight was, you know, Eddie mentioned it a few times, that they were getting paid 7 figures. Obviously, you're not going to know the financials of this, but do you reckon these ladies are getting paid the kind of money Taylor and Serrano got?
Absolutely. This is the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. You know, these girls are, you know, creating history, so they're going to get well paid for it. You know, and they should do. They should get well paid for it, because they're putting women's boxing on the map right now. Women's boxing has come to the forefront of sport. You know, like I think that Taylor Serrano done a great job doing that, and this is another fight that follows on from that. So women's boxing's at the forefront at the moment. I think it's great for the sport. So yeah, they'll get well paid, definitely.
You got Gerald Tucker versus Peter Fury. How much of a factor is that going to be? Gerald's obviously been working with Floyd, well-respected fighter and trainer.
Peter Fury has installed what was missing from Savannah Marshall. You know, as an amateur, she had the history of winning the World Championships, then crashing out of the Commonwealth Games, then, you know, or then winning a European Championships, then crashing out of the Olympics, because she couldn't deal with the pressure. I think what Peter Fury has done is installed that confidence in her. She's grown as a person. You know, over the years with Savannah, so I've just watched her grow as a person. I went up to the England Institute where they used to all train, to see Savannah, myself, Adam Smith and Johnny Nelson. We went up there to see if we could help her with her confidence issues. Years ago this was. And how I've seen her develop over the years as a person, it's come out in her boxing. You know, because that confidence has now come out in her boxing, and you're seeing her perform the way that she's never performed before. And that's down to Peter installing that confidence in her. So boxing's 80% physical and 80% mental. You know, when you get to, you've got to believe in yourself in this sport. If you don't believe in yourself, that will come out in your performance. And I think that's what we're seeing from Savannah now. I think Peter's installed that in her.
And the other thing I was reading online earlier, people are suggesting this might be pay-per-view, but it's not pay-per-view. Looking at the poster.
No, it's not pay-per-view. I'm surprised actually. That's good for the fans though, right? You know, I think it's good for the fans. I think it's great for women's boxing. I can't wait, man. It's going to be something really, really special. I think we're in a very unique place at the moment with women's boxing. You know, and like I say, like we're getting all these great fights made. I think Eddie done a great job getting Taylor and Serrano over the line, and then Ben Shalom's done a great job getting this this fight on as well. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Obviously, Sky are promoting both, Ben's promoter of both ladies. Would you think they want to win in-house? You're obviously in-house guy.
Yeah, listen, I think that, look, we're over in England. Savannah Marshall's going to be the in-house girl. Savannah Marshall's the one that the crowd are going to be cheering for. I think that, yeah, I think Clarissa Shields, she's going to be coming into the Lions Den. But you know what? She don't mind. She likes that. When I spoke to her, actually, when did I last speak to her? When we was down in Cardiff, was talking about that. I said, like, you're going to have a lot of enemies here. It's going to be, you're not only going to be fighting Savannah Marshall, you're going to be fighting the crowd as well. I said, will that affect you at all? She went, no, I feed off that. That's what champions do. And I think that, I think that she loves all that pantomime stuff. She plays up to the crowd and all that. So that's not going to affect Clarissa Shields at all. But I just think that it gives Savannah a slight edge getting home advantage. I think that, a fight of this magnitude, home advantage is important.
Definitely. And last question, I see September the 10th, it's at the O2, so it's not in the northeast, where obviously would have favoured Savannah. Do you think this sells out the O2? Does it do more numbers than potentially Chisora Pula this weekend?
No, it sells out. I think boxing fans will appreciate this fight. I think the O2, it will sell out. It's going to be interesting to see who's on the undercard. I think they may announce that today as well. But whatever, it'll be a massive night of boxing. We've got some massive nights coming up, in the new season, and this is going to be like this one could be one of the fights of the year.
Spencer, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait. Genuinely excited for the presser. I hope they pick up where they left off at the last time they faced each other.
Listen, that is guaranteed, mate. You are going to see fireworks. These girls genuinely dislike each other. Can't wait.
Cheers, Spencer.
Cheers, mate.